Hi everyone. I want to talk about my political project. Why I post on Threads, why I post on Instagram, why I post on YouTube, why I post on X. Why do you keep hearing from this black guy who was born in Pennsylvania, whose family comes from Ghana, who's an immigrant, who lives in the US, who has a different perspective on reality? And the reason why I'm talking about what I'm talking about is because I genuinely believe that society has a problem that 20th century ideologies do not account for. And that is an abundant world where the only barriers to wealth are political and social. Why am I saying this? In this world, wealth is everywhere. But at the same time, poverty is everywhere. We have a mismatch between what people earn and what people actually, what some people earn and what other people who aren't in as productive fields or are doing everything right don't have anything. And this is a problem of inequality. Marxist ideology tends to say that, there's historical factors at play that causes worker disenfranchisement. They talk about the labor theory of value, and Marx has his own riff on it. I reject that concept. Fascists believe that it's a conflict between races and ethnic struggle, and the reason for all of our problems are immigrants or Jews or the ideas of this foreigner or the foreigner causing all of our problems. That's not true, and it shows a failure of 20th century philosophy. Liberalism claims to have no answer for it, but at least liberalism fundamentally enshrines individual rights. But even that framework is being shattered in the face of consolidation of power and the new way that politics is becoming totalizing. My political project is about this: figuring out how to understand the way to distribute resources fairly in an era where rapid automation and labor disenfranchisement is happening due to the irrelevance of labor. The laborer isn't being exploited. The labor isn't being used at all because robots can do the work. AI can do the work. Robots can do the work that humans can do. And with that in process, we do not have the ability to solve the problem of poverty, because when a person cannot work, a person cannot support himself, a person cannot get food, a person cannot get water, a person cannot get shelter, unless we have a massive welfare state to support that. So with the growing transition from capitalism to more socialist policy, a more framework where the rich had to pay tribute and the poor receive benefits, there's a tension between the classes. The rich don't want to pay ever higher taxes. The poor don't want their benefits cut. And obviously, these are both completely rational things. But if you make the elite too despondent and unwilling, and you remove the incentives of the elite to produce for society, and you remove incentives for politicians to remain in power, you kind of create a situation where no one is willing to defend the system. And in addition to that, if you make the poor too desperate, if you make the losers of society, the ones that aren't able to overcome and build businesses, or in other cases, rise into politics, the losers of elections, if those people are too disenfranchised, they may form a counter elite and try to overthrow the system in another way. So either way, you have a system where people are losing out, and because of that, they have no incentive to defend the system. My fundamental belief is that stability is important. Society must be defended. And without a proper society that manages these issues, we will not be able to thrive in the future. What a society needs to defend itself? It needs a military. It needs intelligence agencies. It needs a bureaucracy. Not all bureaucracy is bad, but some bureaucracy is critical for having a civil service and providing certain benefits like roads, bridges, tunnels, basic utilities, and all of the things that it takes for civilization to be successful. It needs a manner of distributing resources, whether it is capitalism, socialism, communism. Any of the system that doesn't figure out an efficient distribution of resources will fail. A system also needs a way to keep elites incentivized to support it. And it needs a way to integrate new elites from other places. And it needs a aspect of creative destruction where certain elites fall out of favor and are removed from their elite position, either due to incompetence or failure. And it also needs to defend itself from external threats. All of these are critical to society. I do not have all the answers, but my political project is finding the answers with you. Thank you.